Since we're obviously breaking, you have a habit of saying right when you're trying to make a point. And you don't need to say it quite as often because we understand the point as you're saying.
Okay, I've got a non sequitur.
Thank you.
Yes. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That word expectation is right in the middle of that definition. And when you have an expectation, that's when you're looking to have that wish fulfilled in a certain way. And that's when you put blinders on, and any of the other odd ways or different ways that might show up, you're going to miss. And then you're going to get to the point where you're frustrated because all the ways that that could have fulfilled that wish have been foregone because you had to have it happen in a certain way. And, if we're going to be real honest, sometimes we don't care because we think you're wrong.
Right.
And we don't want to say anything. I'm just going to sit back here and let you have it because I'm not understanding or agreeing with any of this, but I know you are having a moment, but I'm staying out of the line of fire.
Well, and maybe care is misconstrued as agreement, right?
Asking for agreement, yes.
Right.
We go along with the group, and instead of thinking about, we go along with our religion or our society or our Kiwanis Club or whatever it is. We go along with the group thinking because and this would validate the social connection need, because we want so badly to be part of the group, to be connected. We stay in dysfunctional relationships because we need the connection. We so much is simply based on this understanding of community that's in most cases or many cases in error. That's where the highly evolved beings supposedly tell the truth about everything all the time, and they don't but until then we rely on others to help us with our perception of ourselves. Unfortunately, right. we fill ourselves from outward in, and if we were fully aware inwardly and don't really care about the outwardly, in a sense that we still love and everything, but we don't get emotionally egocentrically hurt, then we would tell far fewer lies, if any lies at all, because what we don't do is allow ourselves to move away from the thing that is the most shocking regarding a person. If we think about someone, let's say even in grade school, we can remember the little snotty thing Johnny did, but we don't necessarily go immediately to how cute he was, that kind of thing.
Right. We
can remember the bad things our parents did. We can remember all the hurts that happened to us along the way. And those are the things that shade us, and compounded by the fact that we start thinking about it. We get that brain that, like you say, starts pulling past data into the present moment, plus the mammalian response, the animal response. And our brain doesn't translate it properly. That's why we have to find our own way, whether it's meditation or whatever, to go into that higher place, at least before a situation, and kind of prepare our mind and our body for what we're going to do when we get that instant response. And then how can we change our mind about it? Well, we can change our mind about it by preparing ourselves for it in a holistic way, I guess, spiritual way. Yeah, all the things involved in not accepting responsibility are those things that keep us looking backwards and not looking forward, and not accepting that life just is. And because it just is, then we have choices in every moment, and we can change our mind in every moment.
So it's like, you're being selfish, right? is basically saying that you're not having regard for others.
Yeah, and that's where I'm not necessarily going to disagree with the definition, but that's when we get to the other side of the give and the givee, the giver and the givee.
Yeah.
Givee, and there's the word we used last week. If the givee, the givee has an expectation that the giver is going to give to you, and calls the giver selfish for not giving, then the whole thing is tainted, because it isn't allowing the giver to give freely. There's an expectation attached to it.
Well,
so the selfishness doesn't necessarily reside with the person who didn't give. The selfishness could reside with the person who expected to be given to and doesn't get it.
Right.
No, I'm in agreement with that. You usually give me the word a day or two before, and of course I know you're going to go to Merriam-Webster, but I avoid it. A couple thoughts might pop into my mind, but I also don't want to have any expectation of where the discussion is going, because I want it to be as though I want other people to see that this really is a discussion among friends who mostly think alike, who mostly understand one another, but we are free to disagree. And we are just sharing our ideas and thoughts about things. And those thoughts might be a little bit different than what they may have thought of on occasion, or what they might get is that feeling of, well, it's nice to see someone agrees with me. Because a lot of times I know in my life, the way I think about things, sometimes it's hard to find people who agree with me.
Okay, so I want to get into glossing over that, but what I would like to get into is what
being in a marriage.
Yeah, well, actually being in a good marriage, because I think, and that's a judgment call, but I think that a healthy marriage, I would probably say more.
Do I get to describe my marriage?
Sure, that's it. Well, I mean, I think that we're both in healthy marriages here. And I think that it comes from a bunch of the stuff that we've said, but let's go into, what do you think makes your marriage work as fabulously as it's working for you right now?
Well, that little thing that we've already talked about, communication, is really key. And we communicate, of course, again, we'll always caveat everything as there are exceptions to this. But for the most part, we communicate the things that are not working or wrong in our marriage when they're little. We don't hold it all in. We don't wait for it to come to a giant explosion. We just talk, say, sweetie, that bothered me, or, can we talk about this? The languaging has evolved over the years too, but talking about how we feel. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.